keep asking us to say, what is the division in the United States? We all can see that we are divided. We don't want to talk about why it exists, who caused it, and the dangers for our children. We keep looking at the cracks in the foundation without sharing what it means and how to fix them. You see, America is a country built on the idea of freedom, equality, and opportunity, and yet right now it seems more divided than ever. The cracks in our society are deep, so deep that many people can't even see them anymore. So some think money can fix it, and some think ignoring it will make it go away. But the truth is, the division in this country isn't just political, it's cultural, it's racial, it's generational. And if we don't face it now, we're at risk losing an entire generation of children to its consequences. The division in the United States isn't a new thing. It has been simmering beneath the surface for centuries. The real question is, why is it getting worse? Why does it feel like the gaps between us and them are widening? The answer is complex, but they are rooted in history, power, field, and systematic equality. The truth is, the people who have the power to heal this division often benefit from keeping it in place. So who caused the division? Well, the legacy of slavery and systematic racism. The division in the country has rooted to go all with the back to slavery. The exploitation, marginalization, and dehumanizing of the black people were foundational to the economic rise in the United States. Systematic racism is not just a relic of the past. It still exists today in every institution, in school, in the workplace, in housing, and in healthcare. The system built to maintain racial anarchy is still running today, shaping every aspect of American life. And those systems, whether international or not, keep certain groups stuck in a cycle of poverty and oppression. The gap between rich and poor isn't just economic, it's racial, it's cultural, it's historical. And those who are in power work to keep it that way. And what's the truth? Racism wasn't a mistake. It was built into the system. And the people in power still benefit from it, rather than keep you divided, and they refuse to fix what they know is broken. Yes, I pause for dramatic effect. Political manipulation and divide and conquer tactics. Over the years, politicians have used fear and hatred as a tool to gain power. By exploiting culture differences and racial tensions, they've turned us against them. Divide and conquer is the strategy. The more we focus on the differences, the more or less we focus on the true issue, the system that keeps us oppressed. Whether it's through the media, through biased reporting, through policies designed to keep marginalized groups in poverty, the division is actively being cultivated by the people who claim to be our leaders. Politics is now less about uniting people and more about feeding off fear, anger, and resentment. It is a game of power, and the stakes are incredibly high. Corporate greed and economic inequality. While politicians and media outlets stroke division, corporate media is cashing in. The vast economic gaps between the wealthy elite and the rest of the country keeps growing. The idea that getting rich will fix these problems is a dangerous myth. The wealth continues to hoard resources, often exploiting workers who are struggling to make ends meet. The system was never designed for the average person to thrive. The myth of the American dream sells us the lie of the wealth is just a matter of hard work. The truth, the richer get richer because the system is rigged to keep them in power. The roles of the culture and racism and division. Cultural and racial stereotypes, the foundation of the division. Cultural and racial differences are often used to create an us versus them mentality. Stereotypes are perpetrated by the media, by education, and by people who benefit from keeping communities apart. These stereotypes shape the way we view people in different backgrounds, often leading to fear, hatred, and mistrust. Racism isn't just about personal prejudice, it's about power. It's about creating a system that benefits one group and keeps the other marginalized. These radical cultures, divisions, make it easier for the media and politicians to create fear, playing on the worst instincts rather than bringing us together. And the truth of the matter is, culture doesn't divide us, racism does. Racism has been deliberately hacked into the foundation of this country and culture. It is the tool that they use to keep it alive. The dangers of culture appropriation. Culture appropriation is another weapon used to perpetrate division. It steals the culture, art, language, and tradition from marginalized communities by those in power. It's a deliberate act to erase and commodify. When one group takes another culture without respect and acknowledgement, it is roots. It is the only individuality that the culture has. It reinforced the idea that one culture is superior to the other. Now I'm gonna tell you why I'm pausing and I'm messing up on this one. We have seen in history that we have glorified the colonization of the whitewashing of Black, indigenous people of color history that keeps division in place. People are denied the opportunities to understand one another's experience, thus real unity becomes impossible. It is the people in power that holds us to this division. They bank on us not getting together and telling each other the truth. And the dangers of the myth of getting rich is what they're selling to our children. It is not a solution. America's dream is a fantasy. The idea if you work hard enough, you'll make it is a dangerous myth, especially when the system is placed are rigged against so many. The American dream tells us that wealth is the answer to all our problems. It tells us that money will fix inequality, racism, and cultural division. But here's the truth. The wealth gap isn't a result of lack of effort. It's a result of system built on to concentrate power and resources in the hands of the few. Again, the wealth gap isn't a result of lack of effort. It is a result of the systems built to concentrate power and resources in the hands of a few. The wealthy don't want equality. They want permanent underclass to maintain their power. And if you keep believing that wealth alone will fix things, we'll never see the real work that needs to be done. The truth is, getting rich won't fix what's broken. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly the way it was designed to do. The dangers of individualism of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. The myth of bootstrapping, the idea that anyone can make it if they just work hard enough, plays into the hands of those in power. The narrative pits individuals against each other, making it seem like anyone can overcome poverty and inequality on their own without realizing that the system itself is the barrier. The focus of individuality success distracts us from the collective action needed to fix an inequality and division. It's a tool used to make people think the problem lies within them and not the system. When they say fight the power. Now I'm going to talk about something that's going to make you think. How children are victimized by the division. Children absorb division from day one. The division in this country isn't just something adults experience. It trickles down to children. From the moment children are born, they are exposed to racial bias, cultural stereotypes, and economic inequality. Children who grow up in environments where division is the norm learn to accept the discordance as natural. They internalize the idea that certain groups are better and more deserving than others. The mindset shapes the worldview, including their inactions, their aspirations, and their ability to connect to others. Now I'm going to tell you how it impacts children of color. Children of color, especially Black and Indigenous children, are disproportionately affected by racism and systematic inequality. They are more likely to grow up in poverty, more likely to face police brutality, and more likely to receive subpar education. These children are often forced to navigate the world that views them as less than, and the early exposure and inequality can have a lasting effect on their mental health, self-worth, and ability to succeed. The lack of representation in education, the media, leadership positions further perpetuates the idea that they do not belong. The cycle of trauma and division. When children are exposed to division, it creates a cycle of trauma. Children who grow up in divided communities, whether because of race, class, culture, often carry the trauma in adulthood. They become disillusioned, angry, and even disconnected from their own identity. Children who grow up without the tools to understand the division around them are vulnerable to failing into the top of the hatred, fear, and self-doubt trap. The path forward, what we must do. We must educate and empower our children. Our children need to understand the truth about this country. The racism, the division, the inequality are not accidental. They are systemic. How many of you are willing to do that? We need to teach our children the tools to dismantle the system of oppression they will inevitably encounter. We need to teach them to embrace their culture, to understand the struggle of others, to fight for more than just the world and themselves. The division ends when we teach our children the power of unity, compassion, and collective action. We must hold those in power accountable. We must demand systematic change. This isn't just about feeling sorry for the underprivileged. It's about recognizing the system that keeps people in poverty, traps in cycle of abuse, and denied equal opportunity. We need to change what won't come from the wealth. It will come from tearing down the structures of the perpetual inequality. If Baby Whisper can talk today, it'd be great. I'm starting to get upset because a lot of you are going to look at this and you're going to say this is just a whole spew about racism. If the division will only end when we stop seeing us versus them, it's not about individual success. It's about collective freedom. We must learn to fight for each other. Some of you won't even fight for yourself. We must speak with one voice, demand one thing, justice for all. We can break the chains that they have kept us divided for far too long. But many of you don't see the system as broken. It's about building something new, something better, something united. It's about stop pretending we can fix it with money and silence. It's about time to speak up, educate, and fight for the future of our children. It's about demanding equality we deserve. And it's about stopping the division that we have created. But many of you are going to look at this and tell me, well, Baby Whisper, you must be one of those liberal people that are speaking for everyone. Let me tell you who I speak for. I speak for my sons. I speak for my grandchildren. I speak for your daughters and sons. The division has gotten so bad that we have 3-year-olds calling people outside of their names. The division has gotten so bad that we have teachers walking into classrooms already seeing children at a point where they haven't even known what the children can learn and know. We have a division so bad that our books we can't even trust. Yet you tell me this is all about one thing. Forget the politicians. I'm talking to you. You see, we are the ones on the ground. Regardless of what they do and what they say, we are the ones on the ground. When they say America, they're talking about us. And if our children are taught the division of the system, then we'll never be the Americans. We will always be divided. A house divided cannot stand. And I don't stand for my children not having a chance. You look at me and you say, it's just another black woman talking. I look at you and I say, you're just another ignorant person listening. And then we all get together and we don't have a conversation. We move in our ways in silence. They won. We both lost. If it's nothing that you understood as we're talking about America dividing itself, understand something. If you do not stand together, they have already defeated us all because we are standing alone. It's the Baby Whisper and the Whisper movement. America, can you hear me? America, can you hear me? America, can you hear me? They want the lives and the blood of our children. Are you willing to sell your child out for you to have a future?